Reality. Super duper excited as always. Have a lot of good news. What's real in the news? What's new in the news? What's real in hip hop? Or what's really entertaining and what's hot in hip hop? Jesus, what a rough Friday. Hope you guys had a great week. We had a great week. Don't forget, you can always join our panel. This is not like any other podcast. You can join in right on Zoom. The Zoom code is 407-476-1959. You can join in. The meeting access code is 1959. Become a part of our live audience and be a part of the show. Let us know what you think. But without further ado, we are going to get into it. Tonight with me, I have on the panel the one and only Jess. What's poppin', Jess?
Hey, Raine, what's up? How's your week been going?
Girl, my week has been busy.
Okay. Well, we're
And
here, praise the Lord. We're here. So
amen. I am hoping to get through these weeks, 1 week, and be able to have a voice. Because every Friday, I'm on here struggling to talk. So, as always, you guys can check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Raine's Reality, Gossip, Entertainment, and Media. There will be merch posted. So if you want to get yourself a special Raine's Reality shirt, I have on one. So does Jess. You can get yourself a special Raine's Reality shirt to show us some love. We are out here doing our thing. So y'all support us and we will support you. So with that being said, girl, let's get into the news. This has been a crazy week.
Yes, it has. Are you sure you want to get into this news? Because, man, it is, yes, it's very taxing, as some people might call it. But the first story that we're going to get into is, well, we have two stories that are kind of the same. This week in Manalapan, Florida, law enforcement in Palm Beach County rushed to the scene of a immigrant landing Wednesday morning in Manalapan. So they were in a boat in Manalapan. They were coming on, trying to get into Florida on the coast or the shores of Palm Beach County. I'm not sure how law enforcement knew that they were there, or if they were alerted to the boat being there or whatever. But they got there on the scene before they could even get out of the boat, really. And it was 7 adult males that is said to have been in the boat. Well, no, actually it was 9 guys. There were 9 men aboard this boat. 7 of them were apprehended. 7 of them were arrested. There were 2
and 7 was arrested.
Yeah. Yes, there were 9 in all. 7 was arrested. There were 2 that got away somehow, like they ran from the cops. Yeah. They arrived on the shore or wherever, on the beach or whatever, wherever they caught them, at 9:30. And so by 1:30 the same day, that's when the 7 were arrested. By that time, 7 of them had been arrested, yes. But it was said that the 2 that were missing were in the local area hiding. So I have to follow up with this story because there has been no updates as to whether or not the 2 remaining had been caught yet. So they're still, as of now, are still, wanted. Yeah, and it doesn't say what country they come from, but they're just illegal immigrants or undocumented migrants. And that was on Wednesday. But Monday night in Martin County, there was a boat of 18 undocumented migrants. And I'm not sure why they were on the boat at night, but it was the Stewart Causeway. And that's where they were, apprehended. They were caught. I think all 18 of them were arrested. They were taken into custody, and it said that they would be sent back to their home country. It's not, the articles, they didn't detail what country these men came from or migrated from, but they're all men, both stories. They're different stories. One had 9, one had 18, one in Martin County, the other in Manalapan. So, it's like you never know who's coming in, or what the whole situation is, where they're coming from. But apparently the law enforcement in both counties acted quickly and were able to get these men. I'm not sure what that process is like. Like, what if they, don't give them correct information or something, about where they might come from, or whatever details, like how that process works or what that looks like as far as like immigration and all of that kind of stuff. All that is clear in these articles is that they are all undocumented and they're all men.
Man,
So,
you know
yeah.
what? Like immigration is a bittersweet feeling for me in a sense, because it's like, most of the time they come over here and do the work that many of Americans don't want to do. They do the hard work for little pay, and they don't complain about it, because what's little to us is a lot to them a lot of the times. So it gives them a way to help. But there are laws. Unfortunately, you have to follow the laws. You can't come over here illegal and work. Although many people do it, you just stand the risk of being deported. And I don't know if there's any other consequences more than just being sent back.
Right.
What are they like? We know America is the land of the free. You can come and work and make money and help your family, but it's enough of us. We have plenty of people who need jobs. Granted,
Yes. And that has been the growing theme as of late, because I have, seen stories about, and we're talking about small towns in Florida. Martin County is not huge. Manalapan, I couldn't like even tell you like where it is. Like, I've heard of it, but I've never been there. You know what I'm saying? But like when you think about places like Chicago, New York, they're having a huge problem with, migrants coming into their towns and their cities and stuff like that. And now it said that Atlanta, they're about to get, an influx of people coming into their city. So they're really hitting the cities. So it was very interesting to see undocumented immigrants coming into small little counties like Martin County, Manalapan.
They probably would assume that it's less security.
Right.
Less security is a little bit easier to get in. And once they figure out, a loophole, and that could be why they're actually getting caught, because someone probably caught on to them coming into the smaller cities. Because when you can't come into Miami, like you can't even come, you just can't come. They have so much security, so much border patrol, and they're looking for that constantly. Like, so the U.S. Coast Guards definitely did a big one with helping immigration, because it does affect us. And unfortunately, when they come over here and they work for low wages, it's good for them, but it's bad for us, because it makes it hard for us to get a livable wage, because you have all people willing to work for such little money, us living here. And then, most of the time they live a lot of people in one home. So they have 5, 6, maybe 8 incomes in one home where they can sustain their life. And, we don't get that. We don't do that here. It makes it harder on us. So I gotta say it's bittersweet, because you want people to have the opportunity to come and live the dream, the American dream, but they're also making it hard on us, because if they can hire someone for $10 an hour and pay them under the table, or $12 an hour and pay them under the table, they're going to do that over paying you $21, $22 an hour.
Yeah.
You really should be making.
Right. Especially without having to, pay you any benefits and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, business wise, that will help, the business owners. As far as like their overhead expenses and employee expenses and all of that kind of stuff. But I mean, even in places like New York, it was said that because of so many of them being there. Like, I'm not even sure what the number is right now as to how many are there. Like, a lot of them are like sleeping on the sidewalk. They're taking over like hotels. They're on like New York's social services, and their like support for the residents there, their social support services, they're almost depleted now because of all of the migrants that are there. And that's because they're also given benefits. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to get social services, social support services. So that's taken away from the people who are citizens, who are residents there, and that's going to be a huge problem, because if you're from there, you're American, and you're trying to apply for benefits for yourself, your family, but there's not enough for you because there's all these migrants here, and they're taking up all of the resources. All their resources are almost gone now because there's so many people there. And it's like they're in a crisis because the mayor said that they need help. Like, they're asking for the government to give them more aid, more help, so that they can help not only the migrants, but also the residents there who are already from there, who've been living there for a long time, who are citizens. So, I mean, like you said, it is bittersweet. You want to be able to help people, especially if they're coming from somewhere and just want to come, want to come for a better life. But, it's also another thing that's been said, especially in Chicago, where the migrants that are there have actually been violent towards a lot of the Chicago residents.
So now you're talking about an influx on crime as well. And that is what, people who are against immigration, they don't always, in my opinion, they may not always consider all of those factors, because it's more than them just coming to live a free life. It's also, how do they contribute? And many of them don't get in trouble, but unfortunately, the ones who do make it bad for all of them.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's very true, because it's like you don't know how to decipher who's who, and it's like you almost have to, sadly enough, punish those who really are genuine and they're wanting to come here for a better life. And but for those who, because some people who come from other country, and I've met some people who are from other country who said that they were like dentists and lawyers and all of that kind of stuff, and then they come here and it's like, really? Like, if you were doing all of that there, why come here to have to, what I'm saying, work like a low wage paying job like that? It doesn't really make sense sometimes. But I mean, people know their motive for wanting to come over here, and it's like you want to make sure people's motives are genuine and they do just want to do right, instead of come and like be a terror to the communities in which they're coming to. Because there was a city hall meeting in Chicago, like maybe a month ago or so, where the Chicagoans, well, because the Black community is where the migrants have been placed. They've been placed in the predominantly Black area of Chicago.
Of course.
Yes, and so the residents there have, of course, voiced their opinion and concern about, they're taking up a lot of space. They're being very violent. They're very disrespectful. They are, using up a lot of the resources. They're getting priority when it comes to jobs, when it comes to housing, when it comes to resources, when it comes to everything. And then you have the people who've been there, who've been needing jobs, needing housing, needing resources. And they're like at the end of the list because, hey, you've been here, you're here, whatever. But it's like and they're, pretty much statements was that, because they're citizens, they should have priority. But they want to take care of the migrants first, because they're like, I don't know. I can't say why they're, given priority over the residents. But I mean, a lot of people are very upset about it. Like, and these are people who are pro-immigration. They're not against people coming here, but it's like, are they going to come here to take your spot? Because that's what, like you said. Like
I
that
think
kind
it's
of like what
because
you
of the
said.
need of them. You know, they
Mhm,
come in and they're homeless and, you
mhm,
know, they're coming from another country. They have nobody most of the time. So the
mhm,
need is there for them to support and give them resources. But
mhm.
most of the time, we have people in our, at least some people have people close enough to them, family or relatives, where these people have nobody. So their
Mhm.
need is probably on a higher level versus the people who are residents, which it shouldn't be that way. But I can understand why I would be a little upset too if I was put in that situation where I needed resources and none were available simply because they're being
Right,
outsourced to people who shouldn't even be in our city or our state.
right. And that's how they felt. That's really their major objection toward them being there is because they're being brought in and it's almost like they're a replacement for the people who already there who've already been there. And
Mhm.
like you said about the wages, and you can pay them less and not, have to have so much, to come out of your own pocket as a business owner.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like you're bringing them in to then say, okay, these people who are coming in have more of importance right now to us than you who've been here. And that's how a lot of the residents feel. So I
But
mean, it's
as
definitely something.
African Americans or Black people, we're always on the bottom of the totem pole. Like we're always on the bottom. So when it comes to resources and getting anything, we're always last. You got to think how many people were able to come over to America and receive financial support to start businesses and buy houses and all this
Mhm.
other stuff. And we literally, our ancestors built this country and we can't even get the basic help we need to start a business or buy a house. Like they make it so difficult for us to do everything. And it goes right along with it.
Wow. I mean, it's interesting to, see how all of this plays out. I know Florida, Florida is definitely not Chicago and New York and all of that kind of stuff. Illinois is definitely not. So it didn't seem like too much of a surprise to me that they were so quick to act on this, but it's like, wow, they really got them quick. But I mean, it's like,
Thing
I don't
is,
know.
with
It's just
our
interesting
governor's not playing with that right now.
at all. At
So
all.
his seriousness about it is putting a
Mhm.
sense of urgency on everyone else. But I
Mhm.
understand his push behind it as well. So
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
it. And we are already overcrowded. And
yeah,
it's not to speak negatively, about them. It's just the reality of where we are.
yeah.
But these immigration stories are too much.
Yes, they are. So we're gonna move right along. We have an update on the Tim Ferriter story, and just to recap everybody, he is the father, the adopted father of a young boy that was forced to live in a box-like structure in the garage, both in Florida and in Arizona. And they moved from Arizona back to Florida, and they had him living in a box-like structure, 8x8, and that's where he had a mattress. He had a bucket, and the door locked from the outside. The lights were turned on from the outside. So if he went in, he could not control himself going in and out because it would be locked. If somebody locked it from the outside, he's stuck in there. If the lights are turned off, he's just in the dark. And so he had to be given food. And I mean, it's like he was living like he was in like confinement, pretty much. And so that case has been ongoing. Um, the verdict is in now, and Tim Ferriter has been found guilty of all counts of his case.
Good job.
All counts. So the before he went to trial, he was given a plea deal, or offered a plea deal of 24 months in prison and 5 years probation. He turned that down. He said no, he don't want that. He went to trial, and now he's looking at anywhere from 35 to 40 years.
Oh, I know he feels crazy right now.
Yes, yes. He went from 2 years to 35, 40 years. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy.
And his trial was only about like 2 weeks. Like it went fast. Yeah. So right now, his wife is due to have her trial start. It's not stated as to when her trial is going to start, but she's facing the same charges. She's going to trial. His Tim Ferriter sentencing date is November 16th at 1:30 p.m. This all took place in Jupiter, Florida. It's being held in West Palm Beach County, the court system there. And so this has been a very interesting case because, I mean, I don't see how the defense felt that they could have actually gotten him a not guilty verdict. I don't see how they thought in their mind he was going to be found not guilty. You just
I don't understand why he just didn't take the plea deal.
Exactly.
I don't know what he thought he was going to, I don't know what evidence they thought they were going to produce.
Right.
Like, sir, you locked him in a box.
Yes, you can't make that sound good no kind of way. That's not going to sit well with anybody. Right.
Welcome to Florida. Like,
right. Nobody would. I mean, they kept saying that the boy's behavior and he had, attachment disorder, couldn't form healthy bonds with his caregiver, but you put him in a box. Like you literally had this child living and it wasn't just any kind of box. They actually had it constructed. They had someone build this in the garage with the monitoring him. They were doing surveillance on him to record his behavior and everything, and all that was played in the court. And I'm sure that didn't help him at all. So he's guilty on all counts. Yeah.
The box alone had him gone. I'm just gonna be honest. Because you cannot put a child in a box. I'm sorry. I don't care what the behavior is. You better get him some psychiatric help. You better go to the psychologist. I don't know. But putting him in the box, like who came up with that idea? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Constructed, like professionally constructed box with the door, with like a window unit, AC unit in there. I mean, the whole nine. It was like, professionally done. And I'm thinking, what did the construction workers think when they're building this? I don't know if they knew it was for, it was going to be housing a child, a minor, or maybe they thought it was just going to be an office space or something. I'm sure that's probably what they said, because that's what the wife, Tracy Ferriter, told the police when they showed up and saw it. And she said it was office space, when really it was where this child was living, because they saw the mattress, they saw the bucket. Yes, they saw everything. And they're like, no, this isn't just some office. This is something else. And then they saw the video. They watched the video, and that's when it was determined that this is where this child was living. Horrible.
You literally put the child in a box, put video surveillance on him.
Yes.
Then you took it to trial.
Yes. Yes. And thought he was going to be found not guilty. Yes. Yes. So as you
all counts.
All counts. Yes. Everything. And then before the defense started their case and brought in their witnesses and everything, I think they were trying to get the judge to rescind the his decision to go to court, to trial. But by that time, it's too late. The defense had already
decision.
Like, no. Right. No, we're not going back on anything. We're going to move forward with it. And as you can see from this photo here, this is him being handcuffed and taken along because he's guilty and he's going to prison now because of this. It's just horrible. And so now his wife is awaiting her turn, So we're definitely going to keep up with that once her trial starts and give you all the updates on that.
I am super happy they were able to get justice for that boy, because the amount of psychological warfare and the damage that he has experienced. It's gonna be a while before he recover from that. Like, that's crazy.
And he had been living like that for years. Like, they were in Florida, they moved to Arizona, and then they moved back to Florida, and it was the same thing. They had one built everywhere they went. And it's like, so that's all this child's getting used to, being in a box. And it's like, how do they think? And it's so sad because he even said he doesn't, want anybody to have the wrong view of them and everything. He feels some kind of compassion towards them. But I mean, that's normal. You know what I'm saying? But he has to know that's not normal. That's not normal what they did to him. It's not. I can see, like, taking away certain privileges or, whatever else, other proper disciplinary actions, but to house him in a professionally constructed box and confinement away from family, that's super extreme, and that's putting it lightly.
Well, now he has his own personal box to live in.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. And we're going to see just how long he's going to have to be in there.
Absolutely, because we will get you guys with the follow-up on that. Definitely go back with the follow-up on that, as well as the trial with his wife to see whether or not she's convicted, which I cannot see why she would not be.
Right.
We'll see. You never know. I mean, will we get 2 for 1, or what are we going to get? Are we going to get 2 for 2, or
2 for 2? Well, we'll definitely have to see. Her trial date has not yet been determined or whatever, but we know his sentencing date is November 16th. So we're going to be on the lookout for that.
We will be on the lookout. You can check out all of our blogs on Raine's Reality, Raine'sReality.com, RaineRose.com/Raine's Reality. We will be updating stories and posting stories to keep you all updated as well. Don't forget to subscribe, to log in so you can read all of our amazing stories.
Yes, and speaking of amazing stories, well, our last news story for tonight is about the Day of Jihad, which was supposed to be today, Friday, October 13th. A former leader of the Hamas group or whatever called for a global day of jihad, and he called for violence. Why? In protest for what's going on in Palestine and with the Palestinians and Gaza and Israel and everything. So I guess that's just a way of him wanting to make their presence known. And so in Florida, particularly, the law enforcement agencies across different counties were said to be increased in specific areas and places of worship, some schools, and wherever they felt like it could be threatening because this former leader called for it. And when you have someone in a high position calling for anything, you have to take that very seriously. I've been looking and checking to see if there have been any instances of violence or, whatever going on. I haven't seen anything as of yet, but, and thank God for that. But I'm guessing it's because of the increase in police presence that maybe that would kind of, make people think twice about going out and doing something, And also in New York, it's been said that they're also on alert with schools, houses of worship, and anywhere they feel like a threat could, possibly take place or whatever, anything could happen. And it's very scary to think that you have to move like that just, to keep people safe in a time like this, because, about a week ago, everything unfolded with the whole Israel and the Palestinian groups or whatever, jihad, the Hamas and all of that kind of stuff. Everything happened. And we're not even how long has it been? Has it been like a week? I mean, it just feels like
it's been a week. I believe it started last Friday.
Yeah, last Saturday, yes.
The initial attack. So it's
right.
been a week.
Yes. And it's scary because so much has happened in such a short period of time. And so I'm really hoping that there aren't any stories about any attacks happening or any people being assaulted or whatever because of what's going on. If that's going on, you know, we of course pray for the people of Israel. We pray for even the people of Gaza, the Palestinian people. We pray for everybody because, you know, loss of life is loss of life. And, you know, you just really want everything to just resolve peacefully. And sadly enough, with certain groups trying to make peace, it almost seems impossible, to where it's like you have to retaliate. You have to be on the defense. And, you know, just for safety's sake, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, no one is sure how this is going to end, but from what it looks like, it's not ending peaceably with everybody just, you know, a ceasefire and everybody just walking away and, you know, just, hey, we're going to just go our way, you go your way kind of thing, because there's so many moving parts to this. And it's so much misunderstanding and misinformation going on in the media that, you know, you just have to just stay clear of danger, because there have been protests and demonstrations, of course, in major cities with people siding with Palestine and then people siding with Israel, and, you know, for various reasons. And, you know, the reason behind these attacks, you know, a lot of people have their own assumptions as to why this is even going on. And, you know, it's just very scary just to see
something,
all
you know,
of
they
this.
were talking about how they're trying to say that a lot of the money that was sent from America helped to fund the war, this,
Yeah.
that, you know, the other. But, you know, if you don't fact check it, you can't believe it. And people are posting stuff. There are a lot of evil people, and some people just want an uproar. So, you know, it's kind of like, I got to pick a side. You don't necessarily have to pick a side. You can just stay out of it.
Right. Right. You can choose to stay out of it. But I think for a lot of people, especially in America, because there's been so many things said, and it is, you know, it is, you know, a bit questionable about, you know, how everything went down, because weeks prior, Biden did, you know, release $6 billion to Iran like 3 weeks ago to get 5 U.S. hostages, which were said to be from Iran, and some of them didn't even want to go back. I mean, that's questionable. And then here you have this going on, and Iran funding Hamas, and because they had to get the money from somewhere to get all their weaponry, because they attacked Israel from every side, air, land, sea. I mean, every side.
Everywhere.
So
just,
the money had to come from somewhere. Absolutely. You know, it's crazy. And you know, and it means so, but for the people who are part of different groups, it means that much to them. You know, and a lot of people have been getting, you know, a lot of backlash because due to their understanding and assumption of the situation, they're picking a side. And I think for a lot of people, they really don't know the history or the full in-depth history of what's really going on. And it's like, you can be told anything, but it's really good to just do your own research into everything before saying, okay, I'm with them, or I'm with them, or I'm for that side, I'm for that side. Know what it is you're standing for. Because if you're a major group like Black Lives Matter that posted that they were with Palestine and their freedom fighters, to the Israelis, they're like, so you're
everybody who's supporting
slaughtered like almost 2,000 people. You're standing with them, you know, and it's like, you really have to be careful, because you want to make sure, if you are choosing to pick a side, that you're going to be willing to stand with that side all the way.
Yeah. You got to really be willing to stand behind it. You can't just pick a side. You know, educate yourself, make sure you understand all aspects of the story. Most importantly, think about the repercussions that it can have on you or anyone you represent when you decide a side. And I just feel sorry, because we have students here and people here who have families that are being affected. So
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And even when you mentioned there are people who live here who are affected by it, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has proposed increased sanctions on Iran after the Hamas attack. So now Governor DeSantis is saying that he doesn't want to have any business deals or whatever with any company that does business with Iran. Like, you do business with Iran, you're not going to do business here in Florida. Pretty much. So he's chosen his side and he's sticking with it. I mean, yeah, and people say a lot about Ron DeSantis, but one thing that he does is if he truly stands for something, he stands for it, and he doesn't care.
Unwavering stance.
Very much so. Very much so.
So whatever it is he's saying, he go like he's all for it. Like there's no, he don't
right.
He's like,
at all.
And some people respect that about him, but you know, it's for what you believe in. It's good until it's not. So until it's not.
Right. And so he said, his reason behind putting the sanctions, well, increasing the sanctions, because apparently there had already been sanctions, but now it's, you know, been up the notch. And he's saying when Iran gets money, they're not using it to make life better for the people of Iran. So it's like they're getting money and they're making, you know, decisions to inflict harm upon people. And the money, well, from what I gathered from doing research is that when Trump was president, he told Iran that if they were going to continue to, because they were getting money from the US and they were taking that money and giving it to the terrorists who were in prisons or the terrorist families. Like if the terrorists died during an attack, their family would be given money. And so Trump said if they were going to continue to pay terrorists and their families, you're not getting any more money. And Iran said they're going to continue to pay the people's, you know, their families and them money until they can't do it anymore. And so Trump cut off the funds. When Biden came in, he reinstated it. And that's, you know, part of the $6 billion and the releasing of American hostages or kidnappees or whatever. Now you have this. I mean, do they, you know, correlate? I don't know, but it just seems kind of weird.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And it just seems like they can help everybody except the Americans. I don't know.
That's what I was saying. They got $6 billion for Iran. They got how many billions for Ukraine?
$6 billion for Iran. You got $6 billion for us. We need
that. Come on.
I won't make this about us. I will definitely say that I understand people having certain feelings and feeling the need to pick a side. Just educate yourself about the matter. It is a horrible thing for everyone because at the end of the day, 1,000 people who, you know, were living 2 weeks ago are not living now. So
that's right.
And that's just the reality of what's going on. In the same way they're at war, it could be anybody. So be grateful, be mindful, and be considerate of those around you, because some people may be impacted on a higher level than you are, or on a more traumatic level than you are, I should say. So just be mindful of that. But
and plus the people who are kidnapped, they're still held hostage. They're not released yet. You know what I'm saying? So now you have those who are mourning the loss of their loved ones from Saturday's attack and all of that kind of stuff. But then there are the ones whose family members are still alive but held hostage. And from many sources and, many outlets and even news or video in the news of a lot of the Hamas I don't know what you would call them, like Hamas members or whatever, or those who are part of Hamas, you know, their religion is Islam. They're Muslims, and you know, in their text, when you go to war with a country, you can take the women and children, and the women become sex slaves for them. That's a part of their religion. And so for a lot of people who have family members, particularly women family members who are they're, you know, kidnapped by them, their thought is like, what are they doing to my family member? Because if they carried out such a grievous attack like this, and what was happening to the corpses of people being paraded through the streets, being like, they were like, babies were beheaded, like decapitated babies. And it's like,
it was war.
What?
It wasn't like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes we forget how cruel and gruesome war is, but it's war. Like they're not going over there to feed the baby and put it in a rock. Like they don't care. Baby, mom, dad, sister, grandma, they don't care.
Right. It just seemed like an attack on like the Israeli people, period. Like usually with war, you know, it's soldier against soldier. If you know, civilians do become casualties, but that's not the goal. If a civilian become a casualty and you can avoid it, they would avoid it. But they were almost like the target because they attacked a music festival.
I can't say that. I think what happens is, no, they typically attack society and then the armies respond. Then it becomes soldier versus soldier because they have to send in your troops to protect your people. That's what war is. I don't think it's really, you know, they're going in to fight the other armies, like, let's meet up and have a battle. No, I think
usually, you know, you want to avoid hitting civilians at all costs. Like you don't want to leave. Yeah. Well, yeah, 9/11. Yeah. And they were
our country. They had a purpose. They went there. They went for where there was a lot of people where they could take the most so they could send the biggest impact. Because they were send the message. It wasn't no hesitation.
Right, soldier against soldier. And that's what this has been compared to. Is they said that well, they, you know, the sources have said in many different articles, videos, and everything, is that this is like 10 or more 9/11s for Israel. And it's that great of a magnitude that this happened. And are the people who did 9/11 here in America a part of the same group that did this in Israel? They're all like, you know, a lot of people say, you know, well, you can't say Muslims, they're all the same or whatever. But their theology, it condones a lot of this, because if you are not Muslim, you're an infidel. And infidel has to be made subject to their religion, you know, forced upon. So, I mean, it's a lot of moving parts to this. And it's just interesting to see how it's all going to play itself out, really.
And what's going to happen next. And, you know, because as Americans, we typically are the source of backup and support for a lot of countries. And so, you know, and then you have to think about our families and the ones who served in our country and how they're going to be affected, and now all the families that are affected here, and how long will this war last, and how much will this war cost? Because we're already deep into a recession, whether people are admitting it or not.
They're not.
Just gas prices, food, the cost of living, everything is at an all-time high. So people aren't, you know, acknowledging it, but we are definitely in a recession. The rate at which people are unemployed are becoming homeless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why it's not in the news more, but it is really hard for Americans right now. So can we afford another war? Apparently we can. We're giving away $6 billion, but
exactly. And that's just Iran. We're not even talking about Ukraine, because I mean, I just saw it. I wish I would have put it in my notes. Ukraine had gotten upwards of 60 or 70 billion, something like that. Crazy number. Crazy number.
I just want to know all this money, Joe. What about the student loans?
Period.
Help us help you, Joe. Let me stop. Man, well, prayers to everyone definitely affected by the war. That's crazy story.
Priority.
Y'all be mindful, mindful, be aware, be on alert. I mean, because when they feel the need to take a stance, they don't care who they target, as long as they're targeting someone who is innocent. So just be mindful of your whereabouts, be mindful of who's around you, pay attention, as always.
Absolutely. Yes. And if you see something suspicious, please report it. You know, that was also listed in the articles. If you see any kind of suspicious activity, please report it. It's not snitching. You're trying to save lives.
Save lives. You just never know. Be a hero. Yeah. Be a hero. It's not a snitch, being a hero. Saving something.
Right. Call somebody who Yes, call someone who's in the position to do something about this, because this is very serious. What's going on is very serious. Nothing to play with at all. And that has been your news and Raine's reality.
Man, just always come through with what's new in the news every time. So make sure you guys are following the page. She is on it with the news story. She makes sure she keeps up with everything. She's very detailed and thorough. So y'all make sure you follow along. We're going to get right into what's real in entertainment. Gotta go with the man, Deion Sanders. So, Deion Sanders, woo! Another big week for Mr. Primetime. Coach Prime definitely leaving his mark on the college football realm. The Colorado Buffaloes football Instagram account reached 1 million followers. They are in 4 different programs to have over 1 million followers. So he is in line with the Alabama football team, Ohio State, and LSU. Okay. Now you can list Colorado as 1 million plus followers. So whether they hate and believe in or loving, they're still following. So I believe you can do it, Deion. He's doing a great job with the team. He is doing a phenomenal job at vlogging his experience and the things that they are going through. Even just him being more social with his relationship with his sons, and just having a sense of humor, teaching his sons how to respond, showing love to the other players. Because I love that he's well-versed, obviously, in football, but he's also well-versed as a dad. So I think for him and for everyone watching, it's hard not to love him. So you either love him or you hate him, is what I'm seeing on social media. And for the ones who are finding hate, I gotta say, it just seems to be a little deeper than football to me. But we're gonna leave that alone. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders, his son, his quarterback, who is one of the leading quarterbacks in the college football right now. So some are arguing that he is the best quarterback, while others say he is not. He comes behind Mr. Nix and a few other quarterbacks in college football. But as we all know, it is his first year playing college football on this level and being to go against these teams. So just for his name to be mentioned in the conversations, amazing.
Big deal, yeah. I mean, it makes when you talk about the Deion Sanders whole situation, like, I'm not well versed in sports and football, or whatever, but I remember the backlash that he had received for leaving an HBCU and going to work at a predominantly white school. And it's like, how dare you leave? How dare you turn your back on HBCUs and all of that? And he's like, he had to go where he knew his talents would be appreciated, because from what he from what I, gathered from, a part of the reason as to why he left was so that he could bring more opportunities for the players and receive the compensation that he knew he probably deserved. But I mean, even though it was said that they didn't even have the money to pay him when he started at Colorado, but he saw the bigger picture. And for so many people who kind of want to keep you back, they never see the big picture. So instead of them just seeing it for something bigger, you're looked at as a sellout because you're trying to expand. You're trying to open the door up, get in the door at least so you can bring others with you so that they can have a better and bigger opportunity. But you have to be loyal to a fault with the community, because it's like if you leave or even have this small little inclination to leave, you almost have to expect to be called a sellout, or you just want to go and betray your community, betray your race and all of this stuff, when really look what he's doing. I mean, could he have done that at the HBCU? I'm sure he did well, but
he did well. I believe they had an undefeated season. And but it did not bring it will never bring the amount of attention and the amount of followers and the amount of money that he's able to at Colorado. So the opportunities that he's able to give these kids and play in these arenas with these other teams with all of this funding, like he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that at the HBCU. So if you're mad at Dion for moving up, you're probably one of the same people who are mad at your friends for getting a promotion and say they act funny. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest, because we all have those people, and they see you moving up and like, oh, you acting different, or you don't have time for us no more. Yeah. So how can you hate on this man who is still coaching, still providing an opportunity for African Americans, still shedding light on HBCUs, and positioning himself and his children in a way that they could actually perform and play on the next level of football? Because even when you're that good,
to him, I see it's bigger than just playing at a Black college. It's so much. Like I said, the big picture, like you said, he's sorry for interrupting. He said that you said that he's creating opportunity not only for himself, his children, but also for young guys who probably never would have got that opportunity prior. And so it's like, and it's like he's taking all the hate and the backlash in strides, because look, he's proven to be a successful guy in this. He's obviously, he made the right move. If you look at, the record and everything that they're doing, he made the right decision, regardless of people agree with it or not, or like it or not. He had to make the best decision for himself, for his family, and also for the guys who was on his team that he saw had very good potential, but just needed a bigger platform to play on. And so it's like, and it's not even just about football, but I mean,
so much bigger than football. So much bigger than football.
Yeah. When you can have that opportunity to give to yourself, your family, and to others, why not? Why does it always have to be Black, white? Why can't it just be, this is going to be a good move for us? It's a predominantly white school. Yeah. But look at the big picture. Look at what this could mean for us. It's like you have to just be in the Black side and even suffer just to prove your loyalty. But then if you try to make a decent move, you're just gonna give up on your people. You're just gonna betray your people. Like, no, I'm trying to make a good move for me and my family, and for even your kids, your grandkids, your family.
Absolutely. And even with him leaving, it helped them, because him coming helped them. So had he never went to that school, they wouldn't have gotten a lot of the publicity they received and the funding that they received. So him only allowed for them to be in the media even more. And that's the reason a lot of them keep attaching themselves to him. Like, stop. because it's bringing in money, and I'm not mad at y'all. Do what y'all got to do, but don't down Dion because he's doing what he do. In the words of Coach Prime, he's a winner. He's gonna win. So it doesn't matter where you put him. He's going to figure out how to win because he is a winner. He always has been. He always will be. And some people are just like that. They're just winners. They're gonna put in work. They're going to put in the time. They're going to find whatever recipe they need in that moment to become a winner and win. Right. So if you expect him to be a loser, y'all keep waiting because he's recruiting the best of the best. Still, he just signed one of the top recruits in the country to come to Colorado next year. So as he increased his roster and deepen his roster and bring in more funding, what's going to happen next? They are talking about initiating new sports programs at Colorado. This man, we are not even.
Wow.
He wins his next game. He's already won more games than Colorado won the past 2 seasons. And we're just in the middle of the season. So I don't know what it is. You can compare him to Oregon. You can compare him to Ohio. I don't care who you compare him to. Give him 3 to 5 years. And then let's talk football. Give him 5 years and then let's talk football. You can line them up with anybody, and I guarantee you they're going to be contenders in the national title. Watch what I tell you.
Wow. And he's clearly unbothered. I mean, he's so unbothered. It's funny. Like, he's like, who cares? I'm winning. I'm not fazed by whatever you try to do.
He understands the critics come with losing. And this is what a lot of winners don't understand, that anytime you win and the spotlight's on you, the moment you lose, it was, I told you so.
Yeah.
When you lose. So even when you got to keep your head up. They're waiting on you to make excuses, something he has not done. He has not made a single excuse as to why they lost any of their games. People expecting him to. You want to know why? Because they lost Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter was out on injury when they had those 2 big games. Ironically, he got hurt the game before Oregon. Ironically, cheap shot, the game before Oregon, they put out their star player. So he's not there when they play Oregon or USC. I'm gonna pause on that because nobody's talking about that either. But I'm gonna bring it up. So
well, you have to know they have the target on their back because, like I said, I don't really know much about the sports thing and all of that. But I mean, if I've seen and heard of a lot of the backlash that he has received, so it's almost like people just love to hate him, and sadly enough, that's going to spill over to the players, and people they're just
what he stands for.
Yeah, they're just trying to play football.
They feel like, you know, and they want to blame Shador for something that Shador can't control. Shador can't control his father's Deion Sanders. That's the way for it to be. Shador can't control that his father is passionate and loves him and wants to see him have a bright future like any other father. But everybody wants to criticize him because he's privileged because he was born to a superstar. Not his fault. Respect him for the player that he is. Understand that's life.
Right. But you know, for a lot of people, if you are someone who's very talented and you've been successful in your field, when you have children and your children is trying to go into the same field, they're going to be held to such a greater standard than everybody. They can't make a mistake. They can't have one single flaw, or else it's going to be, oh, they're trash. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're trying to follow in their dad's or mom's footsteps. Oh, they only got on because they're such and such child. And it's like, let their talent speak. Yep. Give them a chance. His son could just like football because he's been around it his whole life, and he just have a passion like his dad. Why not? You know, so I mean, I just feel like a lot of people just look for things to just be angry about. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that serious. It really not that serious.
It doesn't. And I'm gonna leave it like this. You know, Be mindful of what you give your energy to, because many of the times, especially on social media, you can be arguing with people that aren't really people. There are a lot of bots on social media and trolls. You don't believe me? The next time you get into it with someone on social media, I challenge you to go click on their profile and go look at who you're talking to.
Right.
A lot of the times it's not real people. There are computer programs. There are people who are hired to put out an agenda. And one of the major agendas that's out right now is the attack on Black women, and to show that we're not valuable. So be mindful of who you're arguing with, because many of them are put in place to be trolls, to push an agenda to devalue a lot of us. But let's get into the next story. So
Yes.
next, we'll get into Shaq real quick. Shaq in the DMs, y'all. Shaq in the DMs. So
get out of there.
yeah. So Shaq was in the DM of the one and only Carlee Washington. So
Really?
yes, so Carlee Washington actually was on the show with Jennifer Hudson, and they asked her, you know, is there anyone who pretty much is worth speaking of that's been in your DM, any famous person? And she was like, well, yeah, Shaq. You know, Shaquille was in my DM. But you know, anybody knows Shaq? Shaq be in everybody DM. So messy. Shaq be like literally Shaq be in everybody DM. Shaq want love so bad that he was on Tinder. Okay. So
what?
yes, Shaq had made a Tinder account and he was on a date, and then somewhere he messaged somebody and they messaged him back. And she said that this is no way this is Shaq, because he wouldn't be on Tinder looking for a date. So no one took him seriously because they didn't believe it was really him, when it was really him. So
was he trolling or was he serious? Like,
oh no, he was serious, but no one took him serious.
Wow, I'm just like surprised he was even on.
He was.
What are you doing, man?
He's still human. Everybody still wants love.
Yes, everybody wants love. So she's not married?
No, she's not married. And she said that he was in a DM and he was asking about Scandal, but it was after Scandal. So she was a little bit baffled because she, you know, didn't know what to take from it. But he came around, he cleared it up. He said that he really was in the DM, genuinely asking about the show, because he didn't catch the show when it aired. So he was watching the show afterwards. He binge watched the show, really enjoyed the show, got into it. And so it was like, you know, hey, you know, when is the show coming back on? After she won her award, he reached out to her and was asking her questions. But he said it was all innocent. He wasn't trying to follow.
Okay. Wow. Well, I mean, okay. I mean, he gets to DM the actress of a show and ask her about it and she responds. So, hey, look at the connections he has.
Exactly. He said that he's just a big fan. He enjoyed the show. He was not trying to holler.
Okay.
Okay, Shaq. But if she would have winked at you, you know, you would have been like, oh, girl, what's good? Like, don't play. But also in the news with Shaq, what's real with him right now is he just got, he was just announced as the president of the Reebok, and with Allen Iverson as the vice president of a new Reebok deal that came out. Yes. So major moves for him in AI, especially because you know, many people want to talk about AI and about how he never got a ring, but Allen Iverson changed basketball. It wouldn't be no crossover without AI. So let's just keep it real. He changed basketball.
The whole like dress code change, braids, the Iverson braids, all of that stuff, man. He really changed the tone. Like he made it. Like he really changed a lot of the culture of basketball.
Oh, definitely. He definitely did. So showing love to him. Shaq does a really good job at uplifting him, even sending him encouraging words, because many times in the conversations with sports, they only want to talk about the people who received rings. But that doesn't make you, he's still a Hall of Famer. AI still a Hall of Famer because he deserves to be a Hall of Famer. So ring or not, he did what he had to do. And honestly, if it was, if he would have did the LeBron, he probably would have had a couple rings like LeBron did. So, but he did.
He would have moved around, but he stayed true to Philly, right? Like he didn't leave. Yeah, so he was, I mean, he showed his loyalty to them, and he wasn't, I mean, like you said, if he would have like moved around and, team hopped and all of that kind of stuff.
LeBron gonna be famous for that. And I love LeBron. I'm not knocking LeBron because he did what he had to do because he deserved to put his stamp on basketball. So I'm not knocking LeBron, but he introduced something to the NBA that was not present prior to him. So let's just be honest.
Right. So is that a thing now where they just run around wherever they could get their ring? Like, oh, I can't get it here. Let me go here. So it's like it's not even about the team.
I'm about to introduce LeBron in my life. So up and around till I get a ring. Let me stop. Just kidding. Kidding.
That can take on a whole new meaning. So
right, we call this. What are we doing? We're LeBron dating. AKA Lori Harvey dating.
Can I get a ring here? No, bye.
We about to make a new
no ring?
Called,
okay.
Can I get a ring?
Can I get a ring?
No ring, no deal. Okay. Period.
Moving on.
So next, what do we have? What's real in entertainment? Oh my goodness. Let me do this real quick. Actually, we'll do this one. So we'll do the Carlee Russell real quick. Gotta bring Carlee Russell back, who was found guilty. If you don't know the story, I don't know how you couldn't know the story, but if you don't know the story, I'll give you a quick recap. Carlee Russell faked her kidnapping. Carlee Russell had the entire world looking for her. She left her wig on the side of the road, called the police, and said that there was a baby on the side of the road. When everybody showed up to look for the baby, her and the baby was missing. We never found the baby, but Carlee Russell showed up with her fingernails painted and Target receipts. Where she bought fingernail? Fingernail polish. No, serious story. But yes, long story short, Carlee Russell faked her kidnapping. And as a result, she had the entire world looking for her. Even her parents were concerned. Everyone was looking for her. Viral on social media. And the background of the story was she was going through it with her boyfriend. And I guess she was trying to get the attention. I would assume she was trying to get the attention of him. And as a result, she didn't get his attention, but she got the world's attention. And because she called the police, she was found guilty of false kidnapping, and she was ordered to pay $18,000 in restitution. But not only that, she has to spend 1 year in jail. Currently, she actually appealed that decision, and we are waiting for the results of that. We will keep you updated about the Carlee Russell story.
Wow,
take a year's
wow. I mean, for what she did and how it got national attention, it was talked about everywhere. Everybody's like praying for Carlee, wanting her to, make it back home safe. And I mean, just the whole thing with the baby and the highway, and it was such an elaborate story. So elaborate. Like it's been so real. Everybody all over just praying for her. And then, it's like, Lord, please let her be okay. Because you hear about people getting kidnapped and things like that, and it don't end well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think of what could be happening to them, all kind of stuff. And then it's like, when she does, reappear, and they're talking to her, and it's like holes in her story. And it's like, wait a minute, this sounds fake. This is made up. And then didn't she confess that she lied about it and stuff like that? And so they're just trying to give her a year and 18,000 in restitution and stuff like that. That's kind of taking it easy on her, considering the emotional trauma she put her parents through. The whole, she had the whole police department looking for her. You know what I'm saying? And the whole nation, like, praying for her and like hoping for her to be okay.
With all of these stories about people being abducted and sex trafficked and women taken, you took that opportunity to use that as a way to gain attention from potentially a lover. So I don't know if I agree with the 1 year in jail being enough. I am pleased that they did give her jail time. I'm not going to joke about that because she deserves jail time. And I think
I mean,
that the
because
tone,
if they go ahead. No, I mean, I was going to say what you were saying. Go ahead.
set the tone for what she did. So what she did was not acceptable. And we can't allow people to play with such a serious matter because then it takes away from the seriousness of the matter. So I'm happy they gave her jail time. There's no doubt in my mind that she was guilty. $18,000 in restitution. Okay. But definitely some consequence. I'm not sure if, I would have given her anything more than that, but I'm definitely happy she at least got some jail time.
Yeah, that makes sense because like you said, you don't want her to just get off just scot-free and other people get it in their minds that they could carry out the same kind of, plot and they get away with it. Because could you imagine the amount of people who would fake a kidnapping just to get attention? People are so attention starved. They would do anything
just to be a public figure. Like honestly, the $18,000 is really nothing for her if she utilizes her platform that she's created.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell your story on a few news channels. You got your 18 bands.
There you go. Write a book. Sell it to a media company, and they'll make a movie out of it. Honestly, I'm sure it's in the works right now. I'm sure the Carlee Russell story is in the works.
If she's smart, she would. Why would you not capitalize? You got to pay the price.
Yeah. So you might as well make some money to pay them people their money.
Don't keep it to yourself.
Right. You got to make sure you, I mean, she has to be smart about this because she's going to have to pay for, financially, even for what she did. So, I mean, she might want to, if she wants attention, she can get more attention now. Hey, why did you do it? I'm sure anybody would love to have her on their show or whatever to talk about her story. Come on. Imagine the views you get.
She can come right on Raine's Reality because we want to know. We won't pay you, but we want to know.
Right. You can keep your name out there, I guess.
Yes, we will be happy to share your story. And we want to be exclusive. So don't come to us after you come to the other people. No.
Right.
No, seriously. But definitely, I mean, you've created a platform and you know what? And that's, a year in jail. That's not even prison time. It's a year in jail. I don't know if it's enough. I'm not sure, how I would have sentenced her, but definitely a year in jail is not enough because, I'm thinking about doing a year and building my platform. And when I come out, everybody gonna know me.
You better hush with that.
I don't do the crime because I can't do the time, guys. You heard it right.
Exactly. Right. But I mean, she probably won't even do the whole year. She might do like maybe 6 to 8 months, maybe. She probably won't do the full thing. They give her leniency, a little bit. Definitely. So, I mean, wow.
Well, before we go, guys, we have one more thing. Big announcement. Coming up, Christmas Day, the new edition, an all new take on the color purple. Purple will be out Christmas Day in theaters. Please, please, please make plans with your family to go out and see it. Support this movie. They have some major, major, major stars in this movie, including Fantasia. Not only Fantasia will be in the movie, but Taraji P. Henson, Holly Bailey, Danielle Brooks, and many, many more. Please, please, please go out and watch that movie. I am going to see if I can get the trailer to pop up real quick so we can watch the trailer to the movie.
Is it a musical or like the original movie?
It's a remake of the original movie, so it's not a musical. We will go
because it looks kind of musical-esque, like
so
with her.
no.
You know, I know Fantasia's a singer, but it looks like a musical, and you know.
Yes, but no. It is the actual remake of the movie. I think it's gonna be really good. Personally, I'm super excited about it. So the total is on our YouTube on Raine's Reality Gossip Media, Gossip Entertainment and Media. So we will watch it. Sound check real quick. Jess, can you hear it?
Yes, I can.
So, hold on.
I'll just mute myself.
Okay. So look at this. Just when I'm getting ready to gotta share it again. Yeah, it just went off on me. Sound check real quick. Jess, can you hear it?
Yes, I can.
Goodness. Wrong screen. Look at this. Me and my technical difficulties, guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna get it together. I promise I'm gonna get it together. All right. Get it together. Let's see. It's saying escape full screen. It's not sharing. Well, hold on. Let me get that together real quick. But the movie will be in theaters, definitely going down Christmas Day. It was supposed to play for you, but it didn't. So make sure you make plans with your family to go see it. Y'all know how we do. The colors are purple and gold. So get your purple and gold. Oh yeah, we want to make this a national thing because we want to support all of our people, man. And this is one easy way to support a lot of our people that's starring in this movie. So don't take it lightly. It is an opportunity where we can give back to the people, you know.
That movie was traumatizing. That movie.
The Color Purple?
Yes.
What?
Yes. My grandma used to have us watch that, and it was like, oh no. I mean, when you know, like the premise of it, it's like horrifying. It's like a horror movie.
Oh my God. I love The Color Purple. Like I loved it. That's one of those movies I can watch over and like I'll watch it over and over again.
Really?
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. I was thinking about this the other day. Like a lot of the Black classic movies are traumatizing. Like Set It Off. Why were we watching that? Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. It's trauma. It's like
does she watch those? Yes. Does she watch those shows? I am shocked. I am so if y'all know Jess.
You watch that, and they had us like little children watching this, and I'm like, what is this?
I'm real life shocked that you watch those movies, Jess.
I'm surprised. It wasn't my choice.
Oh, okay. So you had to watch.
I didn't go get it and watch it myself. It was like they put the movie on and bam, you got to sit there and watch. And it's like, what is this horror? You know, it's like
what?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what it was like, man.
Yes. So let's see what this preview looking like.
And I don't think they're gonna give it to me the way I want to get. I can't get it full screen right now. I don't like that. So it was working all day, and then all of a sudden it don't want to work. Whatever.
I'm sure even a little piece of it is fine.
Look, that's okay.
It looks okay to me, but I know your screen might be different.
But were you able to see it full screen? I don't think it's full screen.
But I saw it like where it was big enough. Like it didn't look like tiny.
Oh, it was big enough.
Mm.
Just man.
It didn't look like a little stamp or something.
Well, while we are waiting, you can get you some merch on rainerose.com. We will have all of our stuff that you can get. Go out and check us out on rainerose.com. Please, 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 if you have not, go and subscribe to Raine's Reality Gossip Entertainment and Media on YouTube. Please make sure it's Raine's Reality Gossip Entertainment and Media. We are working on getting our monetization, and we need you guys to support us as we do what we do. You feel me?
Bringing you news and all kind of stuff.
all kinds of good stuff, right? All kinds of stuff. So look, we're gonna try this one more time. And if this don't work, I am gonna post it for y'all to see it on YouTube again. So let's try this one more time.
Okay.
So let's see what we got. Because we are live, you know,
Yeah.
technical live. Don't judge me. Hey, let's
There
get
it
it.
is.
How come you don't laugh none? Ain't you got something you just smile? My sister, and I ain't seen her in years. You know, if you ain't gonna laugh, you need to sell your funny bone. I was married to a man I didn't love. Whatever I say, go. And he took my sister away from me.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
How come you so nice?
Don't know.
Maybe you too nice.
You seem like trouble.
I come here out of respect. But if there ain't none to get, there sure ain't none to give.
Drinks on the house!
There's gonna be some changes made. You got to stand up.
I know my sister somewhere in the world. Someday we're gonna meet again. Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us.
It's time I be free from you and then turn to creation.
I'd die before I let that happen.
Good. That's just the going away present I've been needing.
Time for you to see the world.
Sweet and loving God.
All right, so guys, make sure you catch that in theaters December 25th. They have the color purple. What do you think about it, Jess?
Wow. That's definitely a remake. Some of it looks kind of similar to what I remember. Others looks like a little bit added on, but I mean, I guess you have to do that with remakes and stuff. But man, that's all I can say.
I'm excited about it.
Because I'm like
I
comparing
understand where
it
you're
to
coming
in the
from.
beginning and the guy who's playing Donald Glover's part is like, ooh, scary. Because I remember the first one, and it's like he was not a nice person in that movie. So
He
yeah,
wasn't. He was definitely. He definitely did his part in the movie.
yeah, he did. He
But-
definitely did.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm really excited about it. So I think it's gonna be a good remake, and I don't know if I could say that it's time, but I respect their willingness to remake it. So for those who, I don't know if it necessarily needed a remake, but I'm gonna
Right.
support it.
Right. I have a question because with remakes, I mean, very rarely do you find a remake that compares to the original one, or sometimes it's like a watered down version of the original. How do you, I mean, they can have all the A-list stars and actors and, such and such, but how do you think it's going to compare to the original one?
I'm always concerned when
Right.
I'm always concerned when they do remakes. simply because of what you just said. It's kind of hard to live up to the standard of the original.
Exactly.
So that one looks really good. I think it'll be really good for what it is, but I don't know if it's going to be better than
Right. I don't really get better than, because from what I remember, the original one, it just really felt real. Maybe it's because I was so young watching it, but
it still feels real when you watch it today.
Yeah, it does. But I'm saying, like, it just felt, I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't, like, talk too much about it, but just the preview, sometimes the preview is oversold. When you actually watch the movie, it's like, this is nothing like what I thought it would be, because the preview sold it, so much. But I don't know. I think sometimes when you put too many, like, celebrities and stuff in a movie, it takes away from it. And they're naming all these people, and I'm like, that could make or break it. Because sometimes they overdo it with the names.
Yeah, because they I mean, it's all the selling tool, it's all marketing. So they attach all these names for marketing purposes, but then they don't necessarily deliver to what we expect them to deliver. But I think Fantasia is gonna do well on her part. I definitely think Taraji P, I love Taraji P, and she's gonna do her thing. So I have not seen Halle Bailey perform just yet as far as an actress. I am gonna watch The Little Mermaid. I did not go at the time when it was out. My baby was small. I couldn't go, but we are gonna go watch The Little Mermaid. So I will be in theaters on December 24th because I'm gonna catch it the day before.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's gonna be in the 24th.
Well, it come out the 25th, but I know this one place, they play the movies the night before. So they'll be the Thursday night before it comes out that Friday.
You got the
Christmas is on a Friday, guys. You didn't know.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So Christmas on a Friday this year, so is New Year's. I think New Year's.
Yeah, New Year's is on a Friday too.
Yeah. So, but we want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Raine's Reality. I am your host, Raine Rose, and I'm here with my girl, Jess. Make sure you go follow all of our social media at Raine's Reality, Gossip Entertainment and Media. On Instagram, it's Raines_reality. On Facebook, Raine's Reality, Gossip Entertainment and Media, as well as YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok and Twitter. Be sure to follow our personal pages. You can follow me at I am Raine Rose, and you can follow my girl Jess at.
That's Jess on Facebook and Jess_right. Well, Jess_right on Instagram. I always put an S on the end of rights. That's something else, but Jess_right on Instagram.
And shout out to my man Sam G. He could not be here tonight. He had something come up. As always, sending him love, always support. Y'all know what it is. But until next time, it's peace, love, happiness, Raine's Reality.